Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today, and we're starting here with a very significant exclusive report coming from Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. He is confirming that the PlayStation 6 is planned to have a detachable disk drive at launch. Now, I think that this is a big deal because a lot of PlayStation players still buy physical games and very much care about physical games. And, there was this lingering question going into next generation, even though it's still a couple of years from now. Will Sony make the decision to go all digital, or can we expect physical PS6 games and disc drives? They say here, Insider Gaming has learned that the PlayStation 6 is planned to have a detachable disc drive when the console launches. First introduced mid-generation for the PlayStation 5, the detachable disc drive was a means for PlayStation to reduce its production and shipping costs. For the next generation of PlayStation, several sources who wished to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about company plans have said that the detachable disc drive is here to stay for the next generation. Identical to the PlayStation 5 and its detachable disc drive, customers will be able to buy the console individually as a digital console, bundled with the PlayStation 6 as a traditional console, or upgrade later by purchasing the detachable disc drive separately. According to one source, unless things are changed at the last minute, PlayStation is, quote, firm on the decision because the disc drive for the PS5 hit all of the company's internal targets. Again, it was reiterated by the source that the decision was made to reduce manufacturing and shipping costs during, quote, uncertain times. These uncertain times have seemingly influenced PlayStation's decision on the look of the next PlayStation as well, as rumblings suggest that this time around, the PlayStation 6 will have a much simpler design than its predecessor, again, to maximize efficiency, shipping space, weight, and so on. So, this is something that honestly, I see as very good news, right? We know that now more than ever, people are buying their games digitally. There are many people out there that don't even look at physical games anymore. And really, the PS5 seems like the last console that is really still doing it right, where you can get a console with a disc drive. And if you buy a physical PS5 game, a lot of the times, not every single time, but most of the time, the game is playable offline. The game is on the disc. Again, there are those exceptions. But yeah, generally speaking, people who care about physical games want to see this continue with the PS6. And this was a major question that I had about next generation. Is it going to be the same, basically, as what we have now with the PS5 and the disc drive? And based off of Tom Henderson's reporting, the answer is yes. Sony's essentially going to handle it the same way. My understanding of what we just read here is that when Sony announces the PlayStation 6, they're going to have two versions, just like you see right now with the PS5 Slim. One that ships with a disc drive, one that doesn't. If you do decide to go with the digital version of the console, you can always buy the disc drive separately and attach it. And honestly, guys, this is really good news. This is what I've been waiting for. I did have this fear that maybe Sony would just decide to say, you know what, we're going all in digital only, and we're going to take that plunge. I know I'm not the only one that had that fear. And so, yeah, this is one of the biggest pieces of information that I've been waiting to hear about for the PlayStation 6. And it seems pretty clear that we're going to get physical PS6 games as well. And could there be some differences and some changes? Of course, but, overall, I would say that this is a win. We at least know that for one more generation, we're going to get physical game support in what'll hopefully be a significant and meaningful way. And, hopefully it can continue beyond that. But I think a lot of people, again, going into the PS6, were questioning how Sony was going to handle this. And it seems like basically what we see now with the PS5, we can expect the same thing with the PlayStation 6. So one other thing I want to say before we move on here is that Tom Henderson has some very reliable sources, like some very good sources when it comes to specifically stuff about PlayStation hardware. And it seems now that we're getting closer to the PlayStation 6, he's going to start doing some more reporting on this stuff. So I will be sure to keep you guys updated with everything he lets us know about. But something else that he talked about was Wolverine once again, and this is being reported by WCCF Tech. They say last week a rumor from Insider Gaming suggested that Insomniac Games and Sony could finally be readying a gameplay reveal for Marvel's Wolverine during another State of Play presentation slated for later this month. The good news for fans of Marvel's Wolverine is that not only is the re-reveal close, but according to the same source, Tom Henderson, playtesters have been very impressed with the game. The insider even hinted that the reveal might come with a release date, though that sounds more like a personal hope than, something he heard from his sources directly. So here's the full quote. I heard that there's going to be a State of Play towards the end of the month, and then separately from a person who I've known for years and has given me the most reliable information you can get. He then said the Wolverine trailer is done. You put 2 and 2 together, it suggests that Marvel's Wolverine trailer is done because it's going to be at the State of Play in September. It might not be, and if it isn't, then possibly at the Game Awards. We all know that Jeff Keighley likes his big reveals. Or who knows, maybe there's another event. So it is done. It obviously was delayed to quite a big extent. From what I've managed to hear from people working on the project, obviously the ransomware attack and all of the game leaking is one thing, but then the emotional strain that it places on the people when you have all of your information leaked, like your address, social security numbers, and all that kind of stuff is massive. So that obviously delayed the game as well. But from a few playtesters I've been speaking to, they think the game looks fantastic. So that's good news, and fingers crossed we get to see a release date in a couple of weeks' time. So I just wanted to throw this in here because Tom has apparently been speaking to playtesters who actually are playing Wolverine right now, and it's close to finished state, and he's hearing good things. I just wanted to reiterate this because, there is some level of concern around Wolverine. I think people are being way too hard on Insomniac, if I'm being honest. People are out here making it sound like Insomniac is some kind of mediocre, like mid-tier studio that isn't known for making good video games, which is wild to see. But, there's no denying that there's a lot of expectation placed on Insomniac and how they're going to handle Wolverine. And everything we've been hearing, it's sounding like we're going to see it very soon. And apparently people who are playtesting it really like it. And it looks great. So there you go, little Wolverine update. But moving on to the next topic, we have what seems to be Arrowhead CEO hinting at what they might do for Helldivers 3. This is being reported by Gaming Bolt. They say while Helldivers 2 has been getting continuous support in the form of major updates bringing in new content to the game, developer Arrowhead has revealed that it has big plans for the eventual sequel to the title as well. In a post on its official Discord server, the CEO revealed that the social hub was already on the feature list for the next Helldivers game. His message came as a response to a player asking if Helldivers 2 would ever get a social hub where all players can hang out similar to the tower in both Destiny games. In its current state, the closest thing Helldivers 2 offers to a hub is a player's spaceship where they can hang out alongside up to 3 co-op partners between them, diving. It is worth noting that with his message, it's all but confirmed that this kind of social hub will not be coming to Helldivers 2 at any point, since it's planned for to be a feature in a sequel. So I just wanted to mention this because we have Arrowhead CEO just like flat out acknowledging that, like, yeah, they're already working on Helldivers 3 essentially, or thinking about what Helldivers 3 is going to be and what features it's going to have. And he just seems to straight up confirm here very casually that a social hub, like a proper social hub, is something that they plan to have there. And I have no doubt that Helldivers 3 is going to be coming, and it's going to be colossal when it does. Like, I mean, Helldivers 2, the budget was clearly increased compared to Helldivers 1, and we see the results, but there's no denying that Helldivers 3, the budget that they're going to be given, the resources they're going to be given, from Sony is going to be, huge. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on to the next update. It's a small, but I think worthwhile update for the upcoming God of War TV adaptation that's going to be on Amazon. It says here, being reported by Push Square, Amazon won't have long to find Kratos, as filming on God of War's TV adaptation is slated to go underway in March of 2026. That's according to sources speaking with TV and comic site Nexus Point News. who claimed principal photography is set to start in Vancouver next year. So, we did hear interviews from like Ronald D. Moore not that long ago, basically giving us some insight into what they're planning for this God of War show. Again, it's going to be covering the 2018 God of War and Ragnarok events. And so, yeah, we're hearing that filming is beginning next year, but as of right now, nobody's been cast. And the big question is, who are they going to get to play Kratos? It's going to be very interesting. But there's your little update for God of War's TV series. But the final topic is an update on Metal Gear Solid Delta. Konami is acknowledging that they are working on performance fixes for this game. They say here, feedback overview on their website: we sincerely appreciate the many players who are enjoying this game and sharing valuable feedback and issue reports. We are actively investigating and working on the below items. So for Steam, support for 21:9 aspect ratio displays, excluding demo scenes. Steam in-game feature to check system specifications. PlayStation 5, option to select a preferred rendering mode when playing on PlayStation 5 Pro, and across all platforms, improvements to overall performance stability. They say, please note we may need some time to review and address the above points. So, it's good to see that they're acknowledging it, and yes, they really need to get a move on with that PS5 Pro, option to, I would assume, just like lock it at 30 frames. Because yeah, I'm still playing on the PS5 Pro and it's still very playable, but there are definitely sections of this game where it's like, wow, okay, I'm seeing the problem here. So hopefully they'll get that done sooner rather than later. But there you go. A lot of people were wondering what the situation was with Metal Gear Solid Delta. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.